Every time you board a plane, there's a 99% chance it was built by one of these two companies, Airbus or Boeing. That's it. A dominant two-firm market controlling the skies. But here's the thing. For decades, this was a war where nobody could clearly call a winner. Until now. Because the numbers tell a story that Boeing does not want you to see. Let's start with the scale of this rivalry, because it's genuinely shocking. The global commercial aviation market is worth roughly $150 billion per year in aircraft sales alone, not counting maintenance, parts, or services. And Airbus and Boeing split almost all of it between them. Between 2015 and 2024, Airbus received orders for 8,950 aircraft and delivered 7,043. Boeing, 5,012 net orders and 5,312 deliveries over the same period. These aren't small gaps. That's a 78% order advantage for Airbus over a 10-year window. And their backlogs, the planes already sold but not yet built, tell the same story. Boeing currently sits on a backlog of over 5,900 planes valued at roughly $522 billion. Impressive, until you realize Airbus holds a 62% share of the total global airliner backlog. Both companies are sold out for years, but one is winning more of the future than the other. Let's talk 2024, because it was a year Boeing would rather forget. Airbus delivered 766 commercial aircraft in 2024, while Boeing just delivered 348. That's not a gap. That's a chasm. Boeing delivered less than half what Airbus did. Its lowest delivery share since the 2019 to 2020 period when the 737 MAX was grounded worldwide. And on the revenue side, Airbus posted revenues of €69.2 billion, up 6% year over year. Boeing reported total company revenue of just $66.5 billion for all of 2024 and posted a net loss of $11.8 billion. That's not a bad quarter. That's a company in a full-blown financial crisis. Meanwhile, Airbus secured 878 gross orders in 2024 to Boeing's 569. Airbus won the order war by over 50%. To understand why Boeing is losing, you have to rewind to 2011. Airbus launched the A320neo, a next-generation narrow-body jet with better fuel efficiency, lower operating costs, and almost no pilot retraining required for airlines already flying A320s. Airlines loved it. Orders flooded in. Boeing panicked. Rather than develop a brand-new aircraft, which would take a decade, Boeing chose to modify its existing 737 platform. They mounted larger, more fuel-efficient engines further forward and higher on the wing. That changed the plane's aerodynamics. And to fix that, Boeing quietly installed a software system called MCAS, the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System. Here's where it gets dark. On October 29, 2018, Lion Air Flight 610 crashed into the Java Sea minutes after takeoff, and 189 people killed. MCAS had fired based on faulty sensor data and forced the nose down, repeatedly. And the crew couldn't stop it. Just 5 months later, Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 went down. 157 more people died by the same tragic pattern. Boeing's own engineers knew about potential MCAS issues before the crashes, and that information was never shared with the FAA, with airlines, or with pilots. The global fleet was grounded. The financial fallout was catastrophic. Boeing estimated a loss of $18.4 billion for 2019 alone. Over 1,737 MAX orders were canceled or removed from the backlog. Criminal investigations were opened. The CEO was replaced. In 2024, Boeing agreed to a plea deal related to those crashes, admitting it had misled regulators about the safety of the aircraft. 346 people died, and Boeing chose speed over safety. Just as Boeing seemed to be back on track, 2024 changed everything. In January, Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 suffered a mid-flight blowout. A door plug literally blew off a 737 MAX 9 at 16,000 feet. Miraculously, no one was killed. But the FAA launched immediate inspections, grounded 171 aircraft, and capped Boeing's production rate. Then came the machinist strike. Boeing's unionized factory workers, over 30,000 of them, walked out for nearly 2 months. Production on the 737, 767, and 777X lines came to a near halt. The result: Boeing delivered just 348 aircraft in all of 2024, a third less than the year before, and burned through cash at a rate of $3.5 billion in operating cash outflow in Q4 alone. Meanwhile, Airbus just kept building planes. Here's what all of this means for the future. If you split the commercial aviation market, it's roughly 50-50 between Airbus and Boeing for medium and long-range commercial aircraft. But according to Roland Berger Consulting, by the end of this decade, Airbus will control 58% of the market, Boeing will drop to 39%, and China's COMAC will take 3%. That's not just a win for Airbus. That's a structural shift in who controls global aviation for the next generation. And there's more. In 2023, the number of Airbus aircraft in service surpassed Boeing for the very first time in aviation history. Airbus didn't just catch up, it passed them. And here's why this story isn't over. Boeing is starting to stabilize. In Q2 2025, the company reported revenue of $22.7 billion, its strongest quarter in years, with 737 production climbing back up to 38 planes per month, with plans to reach 42. Boeing's total backlog now stands at $619 billion, including over 5,900 planes on order. The 787 Dreamliner program is producing at 7 planes per month and remains one of the most popular wide-body jets in the world. And Boeing still dominates defense and space, a division that keeps billions flowing even when commercial aviation struggles. But Boeing's biggest problem isn't cash. It's trust. Airlines that ordered Boeing planes are now waiting years for delivery. Some are quietly exploring Airbus alternatives. And with the Department of Justice investigation still looming and the 777X program facing billions in additional charges, the path back is long. So, who's really winning the $150 billion Sky War? It's Airbus. More deliveries, more orders, more revenue, more market share, more trust. But Boeing isn't gone. It's a company with a $619 billion backlog and 150 years of aerospace heritage. Governments need it. Airlines need it. The duopoly needs it. The real question isn't whether Boeing survives. The question isn't whether Boeing can make a comeback. It's whether it can reclaim what was lost after 2018. Before the crashes, before the investigations, before years of setbacks challenged the confidence people once placed in the company. Not everything that matters can be measured in dollars. Trust is one of those things. The data reveals the truth, and that's what this channel is built on. Subscribe for more videos. Sources in description. See you next time.